Start off here. Welcome everybody to our national convention. I'm really glad that everybody's here to join us for our first ever virtual National Farmers Union convention. I do wish though that I could see everybody's smiling faces, but I do hope that everybody's families are happy and healthy. The last time we were all together was a year ago in Savannah, Georgia. While we didn't realize it then, we were just weeks away from the COVID pandemic spread into our rural communities. While I really wish we could all be together in San Francisco right now, we all know that just won't be possible. I know how hard our NFU staff has worked, though, to put this virtual convention in and to make it a reality. And I'm so excited for a productive and enjoyable couple of days. The NFU convention in Savannah felt like it was in a different world. As we do each year, we had a great opportunity to embrace and share our values and work of our organization. We heard from an amazing lineup of speakers and had robust policy discussions and debate that so many of us look forward to. We even adopted a special order of business that talked about how trade disruptions, severe weather, and farm policy problems resulted in a very difficult time in the previous year. That special order was titled 2019, a most challenging year. Looking back, I can't help but think we were tempting fate. Who would have guessed at the incredible difficulties that lay ahead of us for 2020? I will quote both Kansas Farmers Union President Don Teske and North Dakota Farmers Union President Mark Watney from our latest NFU board meetings when they both said it was one heck of a year. Both meaning, though, completely opposite things when they said it was one heck of a year. But boy, 2020 was one heck of a year, with big and often sudden changes. We've seen some major struggles. We've all scrambled to keep our members up to date and engaged. We've been moving everything to new virtual platforms, and we've all worked hard to make sure that despite all our distances, we're able to stay connected, sharing our stories. We started strong in 2020. In the face of a global pandemic, we finished the year even stronger. Through the uncertainties and challenges, NFU and Farmers Union divisions across the country were still able to make huge impacts. As you heard from our NFU secretary, we grew our membership by more than 4,000 members for the third year in a row. That growth happened in 12 different state divisions in 2020. I'm happy to say that Farmers Union family is now more than 196,000 members strong. In 2020, we maintain our membership emphasis on advancing meaningful legislative change, growing our state divisions across the country, strengthening the Farmers Union's foothold in new parts of the country, building the next generation of Farmers Union leaders, and addressing challenges and stresses that farmers and ranchers face on a daily basis. What was most exciting to me, though, was NFU's new programs and initiatives. In a year when so many were doing their best just to tread water, we were finding new ways to move Farmers Union forward. We started the NFU Ambassador Program and initiatives. We started the NFU Ambassador Program to help build our next generation of leaders. We brought together a group of promising young individuals to hear from speakers about how to become effective leaders in our organization. It was inspiring to see this young group share their passion for building a better future for America's farm and ranch families. Starting with a training session at last year's convention, we have built a community of more than 40 certified farm stress responders. We launched that training because we know how stressful farming and ranching can be, but we had no idea how the stresses that were going to await us here in 2020. The program has empowered Farmers Union members to support their friends and neighbors during the tough times, and even helped, in that training, it helped one of our members save a life earlier this summer. I encourage all of you to visit the education page on the NFU website to learn more about the online Rural Resilience course. Last summer, we renewed our FDA agreement to continue the local food safety collaborative. Through this program, we were able to support 1/3 of our Farmers Union divisions by providing training, education, and outreach on food safety. This collaboration helps NFU and FDA build a stronger food safety learning environment that is responsive to the needs of farmers and stakeholders. We also held our very first virtual NFU fall fly-in. We had the great opportunity to hear from Speaker Nancy Pelosi, and we had over 400 Farmers Union members from across the country engage via Zoom or conference call with their congressional delegations. In fact, if there's a silver lining in this pandemic, it's that many of us were able to stay connected and more closely involved and engaged in the legislative process. We have also built upon the strength of our education programs to continue our great virtual learning opportunities in 2020. We have continued our Beginning Farmer Institute through a virtual platform. We had over 150 people registered for our women's conference in January. And just a few weeks ago, we held the college conference on co-ops with over 150 participants joining in that event as well. NFU launched a new series of cooperative webinars in 2020, and I hope many of you were able to listen to those to hear about the power of co-ops in our rural and farming communities. In total, we had over 700 people register for those webinars. And I hope many of you were able to tune into the Thursday educational webinars leading up to our annual convention. These sessions were offered in place of the regular breakout convention sessions. We were excited to have over 620 register for those events. And if you weren't able to watch them live, you can find the recordings on our website. Something that is equally exciting and almost more exciting than any of it is how our states and you were able to respond to this pandemic. You all found new and innovative ways to keep your members engaged and informed on the happenings of farmers unions in your own states. I know we've missed some, but we counted over 400 of virtual hours of program hours provided by farmers union divisions across the country in 2020. I applaud all of you and your state organization, your presidents, your leadership, and your staff that have gone above and beyond what anyone could have expected during this crazy pandemic. Here are just a handful or a few examples of some of the programming that was offered within our states. Iowa held weekly lunch and learns to keep members engaged and informed on important issues. Hawaii held a string of community music and speaker series, and now they're starting a series of fireside chats. Minnesota had a 3-day virtual lobby event, including their very first Young and Emerging Farmers Lobby Day. Kansas is doing a series of Thursdays with the Farmers Union family to keep members engaged. Rocky Mountain did a series of Colorado Grain Chain educational forums on growing and moving heritage and ancient grains. And Wisconsin held a series of meetings to address the meat processing struggles in their state. Every one of your states had a virtual convention. Some of you debated policy virtually, some adopted the prior year policy book, and hoping to have more robust discussion at your next convention. But each of you had very successful virtual conventions, some with even more participation than you've seen in prior years. There is even talk in some states of doing a hybrid version of lobby days and conventions in the future so that more members can participate without the burden of traveling and being away from their farms and families for an extended period of time. There can continue to be many negative aspects to this pandemic. We're all striving through it, but since we're not able to be together in one place and share the stories we have in the past year, we're hoping to get together again this year in so many different ways. But the pandemic has also brought out some good. It has shown us that we can adapt to change and make the best of difficult situations, that we can keep our members involved and attract new ones with virtual events and meetings, that our organization can grow and thrive even through the toughest times. With that, I want to thank you for attending the National Farmers Union's 119th anniversary convention. We have some excellent speakers and presentations lined up, and I look forward to sharing the next 2 days with all of you. Thanks, Rob.